Good afternoon, viewers. You're welcome to Voicetv Nigeria, where we bring you topical issues as they concern our citizens, the government policies, and their actions. Today, we'll be speaking with a serious group authority who is actually speaking for one of the contenders and one of the strong contestants for the presidency of this country come 2023. We are in the office of the Director General of Tinubu Support Group. We are with Malam Umar Ibrahim Mohammed. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
To galvanize people to your party, supposedly, and the leader who is aspiring to be the president of this country.
Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been one man who has, even before democracy started, has suffered for democracy. He was one that was imprisoned during Abacha period because he was funding Nedeco. He was the same person that went on exile again when they wanted to lock him up. In the name of democracy, now they have succeeded in bringing back democracy 1999. Now that credit surely must go to him. Not him alone, but he's part of those that actually made that happen. Now that is the person we're talking about. Now Asiwaju, the same Asiwaju, has influenced, he has been an influencer to over 5 African countries where the democracy returned. Gambia is one of them, even Ghana here is one of them, Niger is one of them. I have about 5 countries that he was an influencer to return democracy in those countries. Now, that's just talking about the international relation. Now he is someone who has been benefiting from his position, has made him to be that one of the same president wherever he goes in this world as today, him not being the president. Wherever he goes today, the reception, he's been received as a president. Now what would he need the presidency for? When he doesn't travel, he travels without boarding pass. He doesn't need boarding pass to travel anywhere in this country. Now he has, what I'm trying to say, he has all the privileges that any president, any African president has. Now he has all the money. If he wants to remain in his comfort zone, he doesn't need to come for the presidency. Now Nigerians should know that he was the one also that made it possible for APC to take over the government in 2015 without bringing a bulk vote from the Southwest. Believe you me, there was no way CPC, the then past CPC in the North, could have been able to take over the government until when they merged. Now he was an entity, and the North were a collection of Atiku then, Kwankwaso, Buhari, and the likes of them. They brought, all of them together collectively brought the North. Asiwaju single-handedly brought 5 states from the Southwest. Now, who is that person that we're talking about? How can you move Nigerian democracy without involving that person? That was why your earlier question that said when he declared, the whole country shook, definitely. Because he is the one single individual that can command about 10 states democratically. He's that one person in this country. Or tell me any other person you know that has a control of 2 states. Just tell me right now. Even Atiku can hardly bring Adamawa. And he cannot bring Adamawa and Taraba together, believe you. If he can, tell me. Only Asiwaju can deliver more, about 10 states. He can deliver more than 5, 6, 7 states at once. Only him in this country. He is the only person that has that strength, that might, politically, and that control and that influence. Now that is why, and what he has done to APC, he single-handedly funded APC when APC doesn't have anything. That's the 2013-14 campaign. Now, this man was able to deliver APC. And these few men, few people, when he was busy trying to build his local democracy, local politics in Lagos, they were busy. Like Obasanjo and Atiku, they were busy building universities. When they were the president and the vice president in their own states, and people were accusing of corruption. How? This man was tried, was investigated even by FBI. They could not find a pin drop of corruption in his 8 years of Lagos governance. And they are coming up with age, they are coming up with all sorts of nonsense, disease, he's sick, blah, blah, blah. Those are all nonsense. He has built the democracy he needed to, and Nigeria needs. He gave Lagos the blueprint that took Lagos where Lagos is today. Why won't Nigerians enjoy seeing? We want him to come and replicate what he did to Lagos for Nigeria. Actually, it started as an instrument to measure or to find out how strong the support base for Asuwaju is in the country. So now we knew we had to come up with a structure to be able to gather that data, or to collate that data from all the nook and corners across the country. So now that was why we came up with TSG, Tinubu Support Group. And so far, I can categorically say we are we are part of that same instrument that was able to convince the leader to make up his mind towards his declaration, or towards his categorical declaration.
So, we have a voting population in our country, and we have a large chunk of undecided voters. The emergence of this group, how will it help sway voting and voters to the ambition and aspiration of your principal?
In favor of our principal?
Yes, sir.
Well, it's simple, actually. Let me start by, or let me even use some of the data we collected to answer that question. Now, so far we started through basically opinion sampling through the social media, the Twitter handle, Instagram, Facebook, and so on and so forth. Now, the response we've been getting so far from there is just overwhelming. It's like, let me say, 90% favorable response from across the nation. Even especially in the diaspora, that also is overwhelming. Now, what is happening is most Nigerians, they know his antecedents. They know how Lagos was, and they know how Lagos is today, and all the attributes were given to him. Now, they don't really know him as an individual. They don't know his capabilities, his capacities. Now they don't know his vision, but they know his antecedents. So now we're trying to bridge, we've been bridging that, creating awareness as to who he is. He's one of the most humble person you can ever meet in this country. He wears the cheapest dress. You will see him where you never expect to see him. That's how he operates. And he doesn't just listen to what the people around him tells him. No. He goes to where the problem is. Let me give you an instance. When he decided to consult, he was not sitting in his house, people coming to him for consultation. He could gather all the obas and all the dignitaries to come over to his house. No. You see him touring to Kano, touring to Gusau, Katsina. You saw him in Oshun yesterday. He was all over the country. Now he was touring, meeting them at their place to consult for his ambition. So now that's the kind of person he is. He doesn't just sit down and listen to what he's been told and act on it. No, he goes there. A few things. I could remember in Katsina State, I was one of those that went with him to Katsina. when the Katsina Central Market got burnt. He was there. Now, he told them something. He told them that he was also a market person. He was being brought up, trained by the market money. His mother was a marketer. Now, he's here today. He was there that day with regards to what happened to them. And he donated chunks, 50 million naira to be precise. He said before the state government decided on what to do and how to renovate the market, before they get their bearings back, he is donating 50 million naira because they will not stop eating today, tomorrow, next tomorrow, and their children will not stop going to school. So he gave out that money so that their lives will keep on going before the state government decides on how to handle the situation. And even so, when the state government finally decides on what to do, he is still going to contribute to the redevelopment of that market. Now, he was in Kaduna on a seminar the other day. Now, in Arewa House. So he was there, and they took him around Arewa House. You know, it's a historical monument. Now they took him around, and he saw the library there. He said, "Why is the library like this?" He said, "Well, it was actually supposed to be a library, but the archive, there was no archive building structure. So they had to combine the library and the archive structure. So that's why you see the building very, very tiny, you know, not being able to cater for both services." Now he renovated, he spent hundreds of million naira to renovate the Area House Library so that all those, the archives and all the books, all the historical, northern historical archives can be properly documented. Now, these are very detailed things, very key things and sensitive things to Arewa. When we have the Arewa supposed to be concerned elders, none has ever thought, even our governors, how many governors have we had in Kaduna? Arewa House is in Kaduna. I doubt if there is any Kaduna governor that ever visited the library to see and to even opt, you know. Now, if he makes promise, he surely delivers his promise. That's just what I want to say about him. And he's an active person. He doesn't just sit down and give directives. No. He goes there by himself and he takes the necessary action. Now, that is the type of leadership Nigeria needs.
Sir, as the DG of TSG, there's this speculation going around that some power blocks within the APC are doing everything they can to sabotage the emergence of your principal. What's your reaction and what's your advice to them?
Well, in politics, it's always like that. There's nothing new. There's nothing unexpected there. It's usually like that. And if there is ever going to be any form of primaries, whether direct, indirect, whatsoever, we're surely going to take the ticket. That I guarantee Nigerians. I have absolute confidence in that. Unless, if they are just going to, within an office space, just hand over the ticket to someone without the knowledge of anybody. But if it's surely coming out of that office, moving to the next office, we'll surely get the ticket. Because it's somehow unbelievable, but if I will tell you that the crave for Nigerians, for Asiwaju to come out and contest is beyond human imagination. In each state, believe you me, I have been registering groups. In each state, I have registered more than 200, 300, 100 groups from almost across all the states. Different support groups. Don't think that these support groups are being supported by Asiwaju, no. They are the ordinary citizens at the grassroots level. They task themselves to coordinate activities and programs for Asiwaju, just so that just so that they make sure that his dreams are being achieved. So I have no doubt, whatever they do, everybody has his own vested interests, but it doesn't. I don't think it's going to prevail at the end of no. It's not possible.
So, insecurity, economy, unity of our people, and international relationships are critical to how Nigeria is viewed and respected in the Committee of Nations. Does Bola Ahmed Tinubu possess the capacity and competence and political doggedness to place us in that grand stage?
Yes, definitely. There, I'll just take us to Lagos. None other place but Lagos. When he was the governor of Lagos, I think the then president, Olusegun Obasanjo, he froze the account of Lagos State for about 3.5 years. Where this man only met 600 million naira as internally generated revenue. At the end of his 8-year tenure, he manipulated it. He did his genius, gifted work to turn it to 14 billion. Now you are a Nigerian, and you know what it means to turn around 600 million naira within 8 years to 14 billion. To 14 billion. Despite the fact 3.5 years of non-salary, non-federal government intervention funding into the states. And yet within that 3.5 years, there was never a single month that he did not pay salary. Now, that should tell you his economic foresight. Now, the backbone of security is economic. Is the social well-being of the Yes. That's the backbone of insecurity. Now, once that is solved, believe you me, everything will take its place, will go back and fit into its place. And now there will be security and governance will flourish. Everything will go well. Without fixing the economy of the country, now you can hardly checkmate this offspring of insecurity, banditry, blah, blah, blah. You always be seeing such things. But once the economy has been stabilized, it's been worked on, I believe personally all will go well. Even education, it will become a thing of the past.
So, internal crisis and shifting of convention dates of the APC have been tagged sign of fear by commentators and even oppositions alike. Do you see the party getting their acts together and going strong into the coming election 2023?
Yes, surely there's no doubt. There's no doubt we've come a long way. We've done the world congresses, state congresses, local government congresses. Now it's just the convention that is actually giving us slight hitches. But it's all few individuals, very few individuals vested interest. Now I believe now the common interest of all Nigerians, especially the APC party members, supersedes these few individuals' interests. And we're going to surely overcome that. Definitely this convention is taking place. And we're not afraid of PDP. PDP was in power when we collected the government from them. And now the government is with us. Why would we be afraid of them? Definitely no.
Wow. APC major opposition now, the PDP, like you mentioned, believe they have the solution to Nigerians' problems and have all it takes to win against your party come 2023, citing the FCT just concluded election as first of many to come. Do you believe it's a ride they will enjoy, or is it just short-lived?
Now, for the past 7 years, APC have been trying to rewrite the wrong PDP left in this country. Now, the falsehood that they've been presenting to Nigerians is what has been haunting us and what we've been battling with. Let me give you an instance. Now, the real economic situation and position of this country has always been a false. Now they've been creating palliatives, falsehood palliatives, to peg it to an image to deceive Nigerians. Only when APC came and gave out the true picture. That is why you see the dollar where it is today, and that's why you see the food prices going up by the day. Now we are trying to right those wrong. It's always like that. When you try to correct very failed economy, it's always like that before you finally get it right. Nigerians, believe you me, within the next few years or coming few years, they will appreciate what APC government done to them, because they will really reap the benefit of democracy, the true benefit of democracy, but not now. Now is surely a rough terrain for all Nigerians, including those in the power position. It's not easy. All these challenges of insecurity, the challenges of what do you call it, corruption, it's also another menace that's bedeviling this country. Now put those aside. There's this issue of this epidemic of disease that has brought the economy of all the countries, all the world countries down, not just Nigeria. We're not special. We're not any different from USA, from UK, from India, from China. They're all suffering because of this pandemic. Now we're trying to get ourselves out of that. Unfortunately, Nigeria, when APC took over the government, 100% Nigerian government or economy depend on the oil, 150%. But it's not the case now. It has shifted, and that is why you see the economy being always having fluctuating. Now, but very soon, believe me, within a few years, it will stabilize. Now, the true picture